Hi guys, so today we are going to do a mini book haul. I have 8 books, I believe 4 from the thrift store and the other 4 from Barnes and Nobles. So my name is Raquel. Welcome and welcome back. We'll go ahead and get started on this mini book haul. So the first book, it is Viola Davis's Finding Me, which is a memoir of Viola Davis. This is a really good book, and I hate to say that it's a good book just because it is a book about her life, which she starts out at very humble beginnings and it's super difficult, but it's wonderful to read this book to see where she has come from and where she is now. And she still seems like, a really down to earth person. I love, love, love Viola Davis. I paid $1 for this at a thrift store, which here where I live is called Savers. Guys might have it wherever you live. And it is a little damaged, so you can see that right there on her nose it's a little scratched. I can't I don't know if you can see the coffee stain, but there's a little bitty coffee stain on here, which for $1 is not bad. I've already read the book. I have it actually on my Kindle, but the actual copy I could not pass up for $1. Now, this too I got from the thrift store. It was $1 and it is fiction. I've seen it many times before, never read it. And so I'm going to go ahead and read the back. It says St. Louis, 1975, Jesmyne Missionary Baptist Church. Pastor has gone on to see the King. Still, many people are wondering why he couldn't have just waited until after the second Sunday in July, a day that's supposed to commemorate the church's 100th anniversary. It's praying time, but is anyone going to show up at the altar? Jesmyne's wealthy, conniving deacon, Cleavon Johnson, is determined to have one of his own elected to the pulpit, and the rest of the deacons are at each other's throats. It's up to the women of Jesmyne to do something before time runs out. Their secret weapon? Sheba Cochran, a single mother, former disco party girl, and backsliding church member. Her assignment is to expose every slick talking candidate endorsed by the church's power hungry deacon. Then she meets Reverend George Wilson, a true man of God, as fiery in love as he is strong in faith. As Deacon Johnson steps up his game to the lower level, Sheba George and the congregation must do some heaven inspired maneuvering to save the future of Second Sunday. I have a book by this author on my Kindle, never read it. This for me was kind of like a rescue. It was $1 and I bought it. This is book number 3, which I also got for $1. It is called Wench. It is by Dolen Perkins Valdez, and I am familiar with her. She wrote the book Take My Hand, and I love that book. In one of my previous videos, I said that it is a book that I would like to read again for the first time. That video is 2 videos before this one, just in case you're interested. And it says, situated in Ohio, a free territory before the Civil War, Tawana House is an idyllic retreat for Southern white men who vacation there every summer with their enslaved black mistresses. It's their open secret. Lizzie, Renee, and Sweet are regulars at the resort, building strong friendships over the years. But when Ma Wu, is fearless as she is steward, comes along and starts talking of running away, things change. To run is to leave everything behind, and for some, it also means escaping from the emotional and psychological hands that bind them to their masters. When a fire on the resort sets off a string of tragedies, the women of Tawana House soon learn that triumph and dehumanization are inseparable, and that love exists even in the most inhumane, brutal of circumstances, all while they bear witness to the end of an era. An engaging page turning and wholly original novel, Wench explores with unflinching eye the moral complexities of slavery. This is also historical fiction, which I do like. So then we have Black Girl Called Home, which I got from Barnes and Noble. This is a book of poetry. I have not yet read it. I just got it not too long ago, and I'm really excited. I love this cover. I love the barrettes and stuff on her hair. It reminds me of being a little girl because this is how, we used to have our hair in ponytails and twists, and they would all have barrettes on it. And yeah, you could probably tell about how old I am with that statement. But either way it goes, I love that cover. And then we have The Thread Collector, which I also got from Barnes and Noble. Now, I seen this book a couple years ago. If I'm not mistaken, there's also a movie about this book. I did not want to see the movie, but I really wanted to read the book. So I'm going to go ahead and read the synopsis. It says 1863, in a small Creole cottage in New Orleans, an ingenious young black woman named Stella embroiders intricate maps on repurposed cloth to help enslaved men flee and join the Union Army, bound to a man who would kill her if he knew of her clandestine activities. Stella has to hide not only her efforts but her love for William, a black soldier and a brilliant musician. Meanwhile, in New York City, a Jewish woman stitches a quilt for her husband, who is stationed in Louisiana with the Union Army. Between abolitionists meeting, Lily rolls bandages and crafts quilts in her sewing circle for other soldiers too, hoping for their safe return home. But when months go by without a word from her husband, Lily resolves to make the perilous journey south to search for him. As these two women risked everything for love and freedom during the brutal Civil War, their paths converge in New Orleans, where an unexpected encounter leads them to discover that even the most delicate threads have the capacity to save us. Loosely inspired by the author's own family history, the thread collector will capture readers' heart from the very first page. Then I have Where the Line Bleeds by Jesmyne Ward. And so I did read Let Us Descend by Jesmyne Ward. And oh my God, that was a very heavy book. It took me quite a while to read it. It was a lot for me. But I do intend to get all of Jesmyne Ward's books and to read this one as well. And so it says Joshua and Christopher are twins raised by their blind grandmother in rural Boise Savage on Mississippi Gulf Coast. Over the course of a single life changing summer, as they struggle to find work and contend with the reappearance of their parents, Michela, who left town for a better job, and Sandman, a dangerous addict, the brothers are forced into a series of decisions that will ultimately damn or save them both, a delicate and closely observed portrait of fraternal love and strife and the bonds that can sustain or torment us. Where the Line Bleeds marks the beginning of Jesmyne Ward's extraordinary career in fiction. Oh wow, so this is actually her first book. So it's really cool. I actually have her first book, so that is a good sign. I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of them little by little, of course. And then I have Tracy Brown's Brooklyn, which I also got from Barnes and Noble. And I read this book and did a review on it a couple months ago. I enjoyed this book. The thing about this book for me was that you could not anticipate where it was going. I definitely did not anticipate the end. No, 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 no. No way under the sun that I anticipate the end of this book. I truly enjoyed it. Not only this book, but I have been enjoying Tracy Brown's book. I love her books. They remind me of a time when I was a teenager. A lot of her books are set in somewhere like maybe the 80s or the 90s. And yeah, I was like, that was my time. Yeah, that was my time, 80s and the 90s. And then I finally got the actual book that I went to Barnes and Noble for. And I think they said 2 days, 2 to 3 days, or something like that. Whatever it was, they said it didn't come. And when I went on the website, they didn't actually have it. You're supposed to be able to go into your account if you sign up and look and see where it is. When I went on there, they said I did not order a book. So I called them up and they were like, oh, no, no, no. They're just looking for it. They're in the warehouse looking for it. So I was like, oh, okay, no problem. Then about 2 days later, it showed up, and I was really happy to receive it. And I am a fan of Quan. I really don't care what he writes. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna go ahead and read the synopsis for anybody who doesn't know what it's about. It says, a crime would bring them together, grief would bind them, and love would make them famous. Percy Payne Wells is a man freshly introduced to society after serving a deuce in state prison. I know I sound like I can't read, but all along except for his ailing mother. But when he, in desperation to provide for her, robs a train car one day, he cannot anticipate that he'll meet the woman who is going to change the course of his life. Since her parents died, Passion Adams has been moving like a ghost from one day to the next. She numbs her pain with drugs and alcohol while seeking thrills in an unsavory place. When Payne and her partner steal a locket from her dead mother, Passion fights back. Later, when he sees what it contained, he sends her out to return the locket, and the heat between them is undeniable. To begin the wild ride of passion and pain, Passion finds herself inescapably drawn to Payne's orbit, but there is no escape from the dark forces in their lives. From wild heists to incredible adventures and dangerous enemies, Passion and Pain will become the stuff of legend. Okay, so yeah, I really, really enjoy Quan. He is one of those writers where his book some of that old school urban fiction where it's really raw and they say what they mean and they mean what they say. I love it. So I was able to go ahead and get Passion of the Heist, and I'm really very happy about that. This was just a mini book haul because I had come across some what I think are really good books for $1 at the thrift store, and then my little visit to Barnes and Noble. I wanted to go ahead and share that with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, see you later.